song. It's Pat from Saturday Night Live. I forget her name. Was it Julia Sweeney? I'm not sure. Anyways, hey, welcome to the big show. It is your good friend. It is your pal. It is your compadre. It's TC, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Rock This Town Live. We are here every Monday through Friday. Every Monday through Friday, they say. And I said, yes, I want to do it every Monday through Friday. But say Friday, everybody is out and having a party. Nobody goes out on Friday nights anymore. They're all on their phone, right? They want to watch the big show. And this is the big show. Anyways, we're here every Monday through Friday starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. That is 7 Central and 5 Pacific on that bad boy we call YouTube. And right now on Facebook as well. So very, very nice. Very nice. What's going on the big show today? Well, we're going to relive the past with a little Ozfest coming up here shortly. And then after that, I got a little news on Megadeth. Megadeth, baby. Also, Kiss is being honored again. You know, it is what it is. Kiss is cool. Kiss is cool. Everybody loves a kiss. Exactly. And then Aerosmith, some more news on Aerosmith. Joe Perry talking about Steven Tyler. And then as far as what else is going on? Oh, I'm going to give you my top 5 bands that either wore masks or makeup. I'd actually planned this yesterday, so Kiss being in the news today is actually, a little bit ironic, so to speak, but well-timed, well played. And then some new album announcements from our friends in Radiohead. And then also the Better Call Saul soundtrack coming out. Nice. I'll tell you all about that. Taylor Swift has revealed her album cover. I know you've been waiting for news on that one. So, and then some tour announcements, including Sebastian Bach and my vinyl of the day. Oh, what's my vinyl of the day going to be? That's the back of the vinyl. You're never going to guess this one. It was a record store day release just recently from a bunch of young men from Birmingham in England. Not Black Sabbath, though. The other big band from Birmingham. See if you can figure that one out. All right, let's get the party started by reliving the past. I love to relive the past because, hey, why not? If we don't remember the past, we're doomed to repeat it. Though I'd love to repeat this show, actually. It's pretty good. But we're never going to be able to repeat this one. August 11th, which was 2 days ago, and that was 20 years ago in Seattle, Ozfest 2005. Nice. By the way, I was doing a little reading on Zakk Wylde. So Zakk Wylde obviously joined Ozzy for the 1988 album, No Rest for the Wicked. Zakk Wylde was 21 years old when that record came out. So that's why it's got that fire and piss and vinegar in it, man. It just, And then No More Tears, Zakk was 24. And then by the time we get to the Osmosis record, Zakk is around 27 to 28 when that's being recorded. And if you know anything about me, 27, when you're between 26 and 28, those are your prime years. Those are when you're going to produce the best, at least on the field, like if you're playing Major League Baseball or if you're playing in the NBA or NFL, whatever. And the same with creativity when it comes to music. That's when you're going to be your most creative. So Ozzy, no dummy. He gets the 21-year-old guy who gives him 3 great records and No Rest for the Wicked, Osmosis, and then what's the other one? Oh, No More Tears. So beautiful, Ozzy. Beautiful. That's why Ozzy had it going on. Anyways, this is the lineup from Ozfest in 2005, 20 years ago. Let's see the second stage. Who was on the second stage? Black Dahlia Murder. Okay. Trivium actually had an early gig, 9:45. Wake up, guys. You're going to be on here at 9:45 in Seattle. I'm just like, we just flew in from New York. It's like, well, actually, that wouldn't be so bad, I suppose. Let's see. Anybody else on this? Oh, Mastodon was on the second stage, As I Lay Dying, Kill Switch Engage, and then Rob Zombie, I guess, kind of headlined the second stage. Rob Zombie, great live performer. Main stage was In Flames, Black Label Society with Zakk, Shadows Fall, very nice. Mudvayne, Iron Maiden, yeah, okay, you got me there. And then Black Sabbath headlined the show starting at 9:30 with I'm not sure what incarnation of Black Sabbath that was back then. Maybe you remember, but in 2005, obviously, I guess it was Ozzy, yes. And Tony Iommi, yes. Geezer, yes. Bill Ward, I don't know. That's a flip a coin type of thing. So there you go. Did you go to any Ozfests back in the day? If you did, leave a comment or jam it in the chat, baby. That's what she said. So I'm a big fan of Megadeth. And Megadeth has been, I don't know if it's the label or whether it's Megadeth and Dave Mustaine himself. All due respect to Dave because I love Dave. But this has been fumbled as far as vinyl reissues for this band and special editions for many, many years. There's like these ridiculous picture discs out there for like the Symphony of Destruction record. What is that record? I can't remember off the top of my head. I need to go find the discography really quick. Hang on a second. Megadeth discography. Let's see. Oh, Rust in Peace has gotten a picture disc as well. Who cares? Euthanasia. Oh, Euthanasia had a picture disc. What? Nobody wants that. And then Countdown to Extinction had a picture disc. But we've needed this special editions on vinyl like box sets. Now, box set, not box sex. However, what was it? Maybe about 2 months ago, Megadeth announced the, what would that be? 40th anniversary edition box set. It was a very cool box set, by the way, of Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. Well, now there's a countdown clock on the Megadeth website, and some people are speculating, oh, it's going to be for their next studio album, maybe. Okay, that's cool. However, there's some lyrics that are interlaced in this little countdown clock that are from Holy War's The Punishment, which is from Rust in Peace. And then others have speculated, who are dumb, I'm sorry, that they're going to retire. Come on. Nobody retires in music. Nobody retires at all. Unless you got some fat pension from the government, nobody retires, you know. I know a guy who's got a fat pension from the government. He's gone back to work because he's so bored. He's like retired at 57 or something. It's just like, you got to do something. Anyways, here I am doing something. Perhaps. So anyways, I believe, at least I want to believe in my heart of hearts, that this will be a Rust in Peace special edition box set, and then also a reissue of Rust in Peace on vinyl, not some crappy picture disc. The picture disc isn't that bad. I'm bloviating here a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. However, a proper vinyl release that opens up with a gatefold, maybe 2 LP. How long was Rust in Peace? Let me see. Why is Rust in Peace not showing up here? This is the dumbest thing ever. Google, you are stupid. I am mad at Google. Why is Rust in Peace not? Oh my God, forget it. All right, I'm going to go to Wikipedia. God help me on this one too. Rust in Peace clocked in at 40 minutes. So I guess it could be 1 LP. So there was kind of a short record. Holy War's obviously on there. Hangar 18. What's the other big song that was kind of, there's some killer songs on there. Oh, Tornado of Souls as well. So there you go. Boom. Very nice. So there you go. That's what I think is going to happen, as it says there on the bottom of the Chiron there, right there. Fans who visit the website are greeted with the tagline, "The end is near." It's crystal clear, part of the master plan, and there's obviously lyrics from Holy War's The Punishment. So it's got to be something related to Rust in Peace. Rust in Peace celebrates its 35th anniversary coming up on, what is it, September 24th. Yes, September 24th. So please, Dave, you know, we love you here in Arizona because, you know, Arizona is your friend. And I know Dave, I think, lives here or something. So please, Dave, Rust in Peace, baby. 35th anniversary. Announce it for release on let's see if we got a release coming up September 24th. So September 26th, you can release the record in honor of the 35th anniversary 2 days earlier. So there you go. I don't know. I gotta do a 5 best Megadeth records. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow because, well, yeah, that'll be well timed because we're gonna get the announcement. So, and hopefully it's the Rust in Peace. New music is always great too, and the whole thing about they're retiring, and that's stupid. That's not gonna happen. Whatever. But I get it. It draws clicks. Oh my God, there goes another band. Oh, no, it's not. Anyways, all right, here we go. Continuing on, Kiss, baby. Everybody loves Kiss to a certain degree. God was made for loving you, baby, right? Indeed. Kiss to be honored at this year's Kennedy Center Honors taking place in December. Now, along with Kiss, George Strait, the country musician, who's very famous, and he sells out stadiums these days. Very popular guy. My mother-in-law loves herself some George Strait. She's like, come on, time to butter some bread, George. And I don't know what that meant. Sylvester Stallone also being honored, and everybody loves Sly Stallone, right? Not really me. I've never seen First Blood. I've never seen Rambo. I mean, Sylvester Stallone is good. I know Rocky. I've probably seen like one or two of those Rocky movies. For some reason, I was an Arnold guy. It's like Xbox versus PlayStation, Metallica versus Megadeth. I was more of an Arnold Schwarzenegger guy. I was watching all the cheesy Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. What happened to Sully? I let him go. Exactly. I don't know all the corny Sylvester Stallone lines. What are the most famous Sylvester Sly Stallone movies? I mean, other than Rocky and Rambo, what else is there? I'm sure there's other ones that I've probably seen. I think I watched Copland back in the day, and it was fine. It just wasn't what I hoped it would be. The Expendables, I did see that movie. It was fine. It was kind of a kick. I never saw any of the Creed movies or anything like that. Cobra, Over the Top. Nope. Demolition Man, I think I saw, and I'm just like, okay, that just took 2 hours of my life, and I'm never going to get back. Cliffhanger, I never saw. Judge Dredd, Tango and Cash. Nope. I don't know why. I just never. I got no hard feelings. I've got no hard feelings towards Sylvester Stallone, but I never saw any of his movies. I don't know why that is. It's just maybe it was just too sexy. Gloria Gaynor also being honored. Of course, she did I Will Survive. And then actor-singer Michael Crawford, who I'm not familiar with. So according to our friend Eddie Trunk, who does a show on SiriusXM, I think every day. Yes, every day. And who in every sentence mentions Kiss or UFO, if you know anything about Eddie Trunk. And he was the co-host of the Metal. He was the host of the Metal Show back on the VH1 Classic days. Anyways, according to him, he says all the original guys are being honored, and all four guys will be there. Now, they're not going to perform because if you remember, I guess the most famous, at least in rock and roll, Kennedy Center's honor was when Hart, Ann and Nancy Wilson did like a tribute to Led Zeppelin when they were, quote unquote, honored at the Kennedy Center. So there you go. That's the big steal there. But apparently all four guys will be back together. We'll see. Last time they were together was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then Kiss did not perform. I don't think the artists normally perform. They're just kind of honored. So I guess somebody would probably come out and play some George Strait songs, and somebody would come out and play some Kiss songs, and then a Gloria Gaynor song, obviously. And then Sly Stallone. I don't know how you honor an actor, but maybe they get up there, do a little, yo, Adrian. So, all right, there you go. One more story, and then we'll get to the chat. Check the chat. Why haven't you checked the chat? Anyways, I digress. Joe Perry says Steven Tyler just doesn't want to tour, and he can't. Respect. He says, I would bet that there's an Aerosmith show left. He did an interview recently. There's been a lot of talk about a documentary that might be part of it. And he goes on to say, it's tough. I'm not sure I would want to go out and book another 40-city tour. Well, people would obviously say, there's this place in Vegas called The Sphere. Now, could Aerosmith sell out the Sphere? The Sphere. I always say the Sphere. Could Aerosmith sell out the Sphere for... I don't know. 10 nights, 7 nights. You kind of got to make it worth your while because you got to invest in the lighting. You really have to invest in the lighting. You got to invest in the graphics package for, an hour and a half, an hour 45 show. So maybe a one-off in Boston, man, at either Gillette Stadium, if that's what it's still called, where the Patriots play, or at Fenway. Get Extreme to come out, do their thing, and do like a back to the beginning. That's what I want to see. If we're just going to one more Aerosmith show, and maybe they come out, maybe they do 10, 12 songs. Maybe they can do that many songs. That would be awesome. So I don't know. That's just my 10-cent take there. Aerosmith seems to be the next likely candidate if Steven can't tour and he doesn't want to like a back to the beginning for Aerosmith there in Beantown, their hometown of Boston. All right, cool. All right, let me go over here, and then we go over here, and then let me go over here and see I Am the Law. Richard hanging out with us. Good to see you. Herver hanging out with us as well. Very nice, very nice. Judge Dredd was a good movie, apparently, according to Richard. So very sexy, very sexy, very sexy. All right, speaking of bands who wore masks or makeup. So this is what I came up with. Now, I went old school. I didn't put Ghost on here. I didn't put Sleep Token. These days, I'm really digging on Sleep Token. I probably should have put Sleep Token on here, but this is my list. Now, you can argue that did Marilyn Manson, I guess he wore makeup a little bit. Anyways, King Diamond, I got 5. Marilyn Manson, 4. Gore, 3. I couldn't name a Gore song if I tried to, if I had to save my life, but they're in full glory, I suppose. Slipknot and then Kiss, I have number 1. It's not a list of, how could you put this? It's not, I mean, they're bands that are good, but no. It is what it is. I like Marilyn Manson. I really don't know much about Slipknot, though I know a lot of people love Slipknot. And then also Kiss, where they did the full makeup and stuff. Herver mentions Poison and Motley Crue. Valid. There was a lot of makeup in the 80s, but I kind of threw all those bands out because it was just, it's kind of women's makeup, as where, Gore and Kiss, they're doing their full face, so you can't see what they look like. You can't see that Vince Neil is a pretty boy, right? To a certain degree. But you can see that Vince Neil is a pretty boy. That's what I'm trying to say. But you can't see that Peter Criss is a pretty boy under all that cat makeup. So that's the way I was looking at it. The other bands I thought of, if you think of Bowie, he kind of dressed up a little bit, but he's not really identified with that. The Ziggy Stardust thing, whatever. I get it. But and then Insane Clown Posse could be in there, obviously. Daft Punk, if you're into kind of that kind of music. So that's a band that could be in there. So, but yeah, definitely Ghost and Sleep Token probably should have been on the list. If I had my wits about me, I probably would have removed Gore and put on Ghost. And I would have probably removed King Diamond and put on Sleep Token. At least that's my humble opinion. But I mean, Kiss kind of did it the best, and Slipknot has kind of done the mask thing the best, because those were kind of the first guys that did it. So very nice. Hey, Jeff, good to see Jeff hanging out with us. Peter Gabriel used to wear full face paint. Wow, that's right. I remember that. I think I've seen pictures of that. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. All right, cool. New vinyl announcements today. This is Radiohead. Hail to the Thief, baby. Live recordings from 2003 to 2009. Comes out October 31st. Going to run you about $33. You can get this on Cyan, which is blue to me. Fancy colors. Blue, just give me blue, green, yellow, red, blah, blah, blah. Black, white, then we're done. But yeah, this comes out. I know we had a guy in the store. We had a couple. We actually always sold Radiohead records. We had a guy in the store that would come in. He didn't come in the last couple of years because I think he moved to Japan or something. Anyways, we called him White Shirt Dave because the guy always had a white shirt on, a white T-shirt on. I literally, every time he came into the store wearing a white T-shirt, I'm like, I'm going to call you White Shirt Dave. Is that okay? And he was like, yeah, that's cool. So anyways, but yeah, I'm sure he'll be excited, probably ordering that from Japan or wherever he is now these days. So cool. Here's the show. Okay, so I love Breaking Bad. Probably one of my top 5 shows of all time. Better Call Saul, it was like molasses. It was like pouring Heinz ketchup. It took forever to get anywhere. I know a lot of people loved it. My mother-in-law and father-in-law loved it. I think my whole in-laws family loved it. I know so many other people who loved it. And I can appreciate a good show. And I loved Breaking Bad, but for some reason, Better Call Saul, it just never clicked with me. In fact, I kind of cheated at the end of the show, and I just went and watched the black and white stuff, and the scene was, I guess, the thing with Carol Burnett at the end of when the series ended, and I was like, that's all I need. That's all I need. I know that Vince Gilligan, who did obviously Breaking Bad and then helped out with Better Call Saul, obviously. He's got a new show coming out. I forget what it's called, but it's got the young lady who played Saul's wife, I guess. I guess he ended up being his wife in the show. She's going to be the star of it. So there you go. Anyways, this is a vinyl 10th anniversary edition of Better Call Saul. Music by Dave Porter, the original score. And yeah, 2 LP, set you back about 42 beans if you're interested. Got some nice color on it. So very cool. Very cool. Richard, Twisted Sister. I forgot about Twisted Sister. Yes, I would say they would definitely qualify with the outfits and everything. Do I love Twisted Sister music? I don't know if I would have put them on the list, but as far as the makeup and the outfits, yeah, they definitely deserve that. Now, of course, they didn't come out of the box that day. The way they came out, Cindy, what was it? What's her name? Sydney Sweeney style, all in denim and denim. Basically, that first record, they're basically just denim guys, and then they kind of went to the shtick there for the "We're not going to take it" and "I want to rock" thing. But yeah, that Twisted Sister is actually a good reference point there. I know a lot of people have mentioned this record, so I wanted, just in case you guys have heard of her, Sky Fiera, Nighttime, My Time, coming out November 2025. So there's no actual date in November, but it's coming out for $30. So I figured I'd mention it just in passing in case you've heard of Sky Fiera. I listened to a little bit of it today. It seems like it was good. I'm guessing it's never been on vinyl. That's why I think there's maybe some hype for it. So I figured I'd mention some kind of stuff that's maybe not in everybody's wheelhouse when it comes to rock and metal initially, just to have some fun. Like I was thinking about mentioning some jazz, some specific jazz releases coming out instead of trying to dig for a bunch of crap or recycling some stuff. So there you go. Because sometimes I've recycled some stuff here recently because there's just not a lot of cool stuff that's coming out. So I don't know. You have to let me know if you've ever heard of Sky Fiera and if she's any good. The other one, here it is. There's the album cover. What do you think of the album cover? Taylor Swift is back. In fact, Jeff, perhaps you'll let your if Jeff's still hanging out with us, let your daughters buy this record. I don't know how many swear words she's going to work into this one. I was very turned off by Taylor's last record, where she became basically an episode of, well, maybe not an episode, maybe like basically the Wolf of Wall Street when it came to all the swear words and stuff. It kind of turned me off. I think it's always lazy unless it's done nicely. Like Jerry Seinfeld always said, lazy comedians have to swear to get stuff. But, you know, you can use it very well. I mean, you can use a swear word occasionally just for emphasis, like, say, like a guy like Dave Chappelle does, who's fabulous. Anyways, Life of a Showgirl coming out October 3rd. I know you've been waiting for this one. $30. The rumor is Max Martin and Shellback are once again returning to produce and engineer. And those guys are they're Swedish. They're Swedish chefs, basically. They're like the Swedish chef from the Muppets. They know how to work the ingredients, make it sound well. Shellback, a death metal guy of all things, who does a bunch of pop stuff as far as an engineer and some producing. So, yeah. And the album cover, I saw somebody said, well, Taylor Swift has now the worst album cover of the year. Lucy Dacus has been upended. So I remember the Lucy Dacus record. She's kind of a pop. She's kind of in the pop, indie pop world, and apparently that was not a great cover. So there you go, Life of a Showgirl. It is what it is. Let's keep rocking. There you go. Jeff says his daughters watched the announcement together, and they broke out their Taylor bracelets. So there you go. So see, Taylor, I mean, she could have put out a brown paper bag, lit it on fire, and also taken a crap in it, and the pre-orders would have just piled in because she's just got that huge fan base. I think what's interesting about Taylor Swift is that she's got the huge fan base, which is great. And obviously a lot of them are opinionated, very opinionated. Like they were like, oh, we're not going to buy the stolen versions of the records. Well, they're not stolen. She just doesn't own the masters. Now she owns the masters. But if I buy that record, I'm betraying Taylor. No, Taylor's still getting a check for that record if you buy the original 1989 or Reputation. So anyways, I digress. Oh yeah, make sure you subscribe to YouTube if you're digging the show. because we'll see. Maybe I'll change that through the end of the year. I might change that through the end of the year, just because I'm having some fun on Facebook still, and we'll see where it goes. But if you do me a favor and head on over to YouTube and subscribe there, I need to post a link about that. That would be probably a good thing, and that would probably help. So there you go. All right, new concert announcements. Bring Me the Horizon. Boom, going out. I do see a Phoenix date on here in very, very small print. So, but Bring Me the Horizon going out. They got a pretty big following, man. And I know they're playing Louder Than Loud or something in Kentucky coming up next month. So, but yeah. Oh, in Louisville. There it is. There you go. What does that say? Louder Than Life Festival. That's what they're playing. In addition to some dates here throughout the U.S. Phoenix, they're playing the arena here where the Suns play. So, hey, they're bringing them in, baby. They're bringing them in. All right, what else is going on? Foreigner. Here's my opinion. I think that we should buy Foreigner. Yes, I'm not kidding. You and I and a bunch of other people, we could get together. It could be like a GoFundMe or something. And we should raise money to buy the rights to Foreigner. Because Foreigner doesn't have any of the original members in the band anymore. They're gone. I mean, Lou Gramm is gone. And, well, I mean, he appears occasionally, but the other guys are gone. Mick Jones, who basically owns the band now, has as his estate in England, though he has some health problems, so that's why he's unable to go out on the road anymore. So it's just a bunch of kind of guys for hire. I mean, Kelly Hansen from Hurricane is retiring after 20 years. He's been in Foreigner for 20 years. He's retiring. Jeff Pilson, formerly of Dokken, the bass player back in the 80s, man, when Dokken was rocking, he's basically the band leader. And I'm thinking, at what point, I mean, something's eventually going to happen to Mick Jones, regretfully, like it happens to all of us. And who's going to own the band then? Is it the band name and everything and all the rights? Is it going to be Mick Jones's kids? Maybe they don't want it. Maybe they're like, Dad, I don't like that music, man. I'm into goth punk, baby. Come on now. And they're like, let's just sell it. So I think we should all buy Foreigner, because I think this is a band, because there was no like big stars. There was no like David Lee Roth or Eddie Van Halen in this band. It was kind of just working class guys. A lot of them. Somewhat Journey, Boston, bands like that fall into that, where you may not know the lead singer's name or the lead guitarist's name, but they're bands that just kept doing it. So I want to do a GoFundMe to try to buy Foreigner, and then we'll all just sit back and let the band tour. We'll collect our checks, every month we'll get a check for, $4.10, and because there's going to be like 150,000 of us that invest in this GoFundMe, and we'll buy Foreigner from Mick Jones, and we'll have that in perpetuity, man. We just keep going, man. Just keep going. I love this idea. I think we can make it happen. Richard says pass. Come on, Richard. He's already out. My God. My elevator pitch sucked. If I was on Shark Tank, they would have been all out. Except for Mr. Wonderful. He would have been like, I'm a little forward thinking here, and I'm gonna go ahead and invest. So Mr. Wonderful and I are gonna actually buy Foreigner, and then we'll sit back, and Richard, you'll be sitting there every month, and you won't be getting your $4.10. And you'll be like, damn it, I should have went in with Mr. Wonderful and TC, but here I am thinking that I'm the smartest guy in the world. I'm not going to put in my $45 to buy Foreigner. And, it's a return on investment after only like 11 months, Richard. You have nothing to lose here. $45. Come on. Oh, I see. That's a pass on Taylor Swift. Okay. So Richard's back in. So now you're going to be getting your $4.10 a month. So we're good to go, Richard. Very nice. I love it. All right. You know who's got 1.2 million followers on Facebook? The Iron Maidens. What the holy hell? Sebastian Bach has got like 90,000. Some of these bands, from the 80s. So why do these guys have 1.4 million followers on Facebook, or 1.2 million, whatever it was, because they're chicks. Chicks sell, man. If I was a chick, if I was 25, much hotter, and a chick, you know how many people be watching this show? Be like tens of thousands. We could buy Foreigner overnight if I was a 25-year-old hot chick, but I'm not. And this is the card I've been dealt. So we'll just have to live with it. But the Iron Maidens, man, they're doing a tour. Where are they playing? This is in October. This is kind of a one-off show. Fort Myers. Though I've heard really good things about the Iron Maidens. Obviously, they cover Maiden. And the Iron Maiden themselves obviously does not have any problem with the name. So unlike Kiss, apparently, who has some problems with tribute bands. So, but of course, Gene and Paul. So what are you going to do, right? There you go. Very nice. Richard says, I've heard of the Iron Maidens. They are pretty damn good. Yeah, there you go. Now, speaking of Sebastian Bach, he's also got a one-off show coming up on November 8th. This is at the Foundry in Basic City, which I think is in Virginia. Who the hell names their city Basic City? Well, we're pretty basic. So isn't basic kind of a slam, like on, like people who kind of like go to Starbucks every day? I don't go to Starbucks every day. People who watch, I don't know, what's a show that's just kind of just like in the zeitgeist, that's just kind of a lowest common denominator type of TV show? Shark Island. What's the name of that place? Love Island? I don't know. I go to Starbucks every day. I watch Love Island. Hopefully you don't do this, because you're like, hey, I go to Starbucks every day and I watch Love Island. What are you saying about me? I buy my clothes at I don't know. I can't think of any like stores, because I never buy clothes. I'm a guy. I don't buy clothes. When did I get this shirt? Oh, I got this shirt back in 2010. Does it smell? No, it doesn't smell, because I wash it and I wear it, and it's kept nicely. In fact, I haven't worn this shirt in probably like a month. So there you go. Anyways, I digress. But Sebastian Bach going to be playing Basic City, and there you go. There you go. I guess maybe I I go to Starbucks and I watch Love Island and I listen to Taylor Swift. I guess that would make me basic then. So I don't know. How's the hair today? Not too shabby, huh? It's a little fluffy gold. So there you go. All right. Oh yeah, that's where I was going here. I was going to look at the chat. I was going to bring the chat up on the screen. I forgot to do that. So there you go. There you go. So Richard is loving the chat today, and then Jeff is loving the chat as well. So. But yeah, so we missed Beat After Beat. Beat After Beat did message me and say, "Sorry, I missed the show the other day. I was doing a live show myself." I said, oh, beautiful. Anyway, so missing Beat After Beat again today, but yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. All right, and then if you dig the show, boom, smash the like button. You know the routine, and of course, if you want to tell a friend about this goofball that isn't a 25-year-old hot chick talking about rock and heavy music, well, then it is what it is, I suppose. My vinyl of the day. Oh yeah, my vinyl of the day. This is the Record Store Day edition of Duran Duran's Dance Macabre. It's a Zoetrope edition, and Duran Duran fans are pretty rabid. They're really rabid, actually. They love all stuff Duran Duran. And yeah, this was very limited. And on the secondary markets these days, this will go for about $100, if you can believe that. 100 beans for a picture disc or for a Zoetrope? Yeah, I guess. But we'll see when the time comes if you try to sell it. Something is only worth what it's worth when you try to sell it. So, but like I said, if you're selling stuff to record stores, now that we've ended our record store, I can give you all the secrets. Always take in like 3 records or so, 3 or 4 records. Never take in like a bunch, because you're going to get not screwed over, but you're never going to get what they're worth if you just slow play it. And I know it's a lot more work to slow play it. That's the problem. And I understand it. So that's why it obviously works. If I just want to get rid of this stuff. And okay, so you bite the bullet. Okay, if you slow played it, you probably could have gotten $500, $600 for it. If you just want to get rid of something, you maybe get $150 for it. But obviously, it was going to take you a lot longer to get to the 500. like that with anything, I suppose. So, but that's my advice if you're looking to downsize your collection. Always bring in some good stuff. So I digress. So there you go. Midlife Bro Logic. Shout out to Megadeth. Boom. Chris Poland. Boom. Marty Friedman. Yeah. 100%, man. I know Marty Friedman is living in Japan these days, or has been for a long time. And Marty Friedman, that would be another great guitarist from my list from yesterday who debuted in the 80s, who was fabulous. And Marty Friedman just kind of out of the scene these days, and nobody really hears that much about him, but a tremendous guitarist. Chris Poland as well, of course. There you go. Very nice. So that is the not the zeitgeist. That is the zoetrope of my little Duran Duran thing there. So there you go. Cool. There you go. That is it. The big show. We are here every Monday through Friday, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. And that would be tomorrow in London, tomorrow in Tokyo. So Marty, if you're watching, boom. Thank you very much, sir. And then, yeah, it's Rock This Town Live. And boom, there you go. Not too shabby, right? Cool. We good. By the way, I think I ended the show yesterday by saying, have a good weekend. I'm thinking about doing that constantly now. So like if it's a Monday, I'm going to say, hey, thanks for tuning in, blah, 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 blah. Have a good weekend. I don't know. Maybe it's stupid, but anyways, cool. Very nice.